Thanks, Nick. Welcome to today's Business Opportunity Zoom. My name is ERIKA van der Merwe. I live in Colorado Springs, but I am originally from South Africa, born and bred in South Africa, but now I live in the US and I'm very proud to be a permanent resident here in the United States of America. So guys, without further ado, I want to introduce you to a woman that has become a dear friend of mine, but that also has introduced me to this awesome business opportunity. And I want to ask Nick if we can spotlight Tammy Melchizedek with me. Tammy Maltby is a well-known author, speaker. She's a well-known and very successful business builder within the industry. She has become an amazing business partner to many of us on this call. We learn a lot from her. But if you are here for the first time, I want to introduce you to this amazing woman. And Tams, I want to ask you if you would be so kind and share your 2-minute story with us today.
Absolutely. Well, good evening, everyone in South Africa. And there's so many people here in the United States and Canada, and we just want to welcome you to our Zoom. If you are here for the very first time, you are the most important person on this Zoom. And we want to give you a very warm welcome. And the reason you were invited today, I can guarantee it. It's because someone saw an opportunity and wanted you just to take a look. Why do I know that? Because that happened to me. And someone about 7 years ago introduced me into this business. A really good friend of mine, Tom Davis, and his wife, Emily. I had known them for many years. Tom and I had written a book together. We had done a lot of nonprofit work together. And he knew I was looking for a business. He knew I was looking for an online, really phone-based business. And when I heard about our company, I wasn't sure I could do it. I wasn't sure I'd have the ability or I could make money doing it. I come from a completely different field. I was working a full-time job and a part-time job. I was traveling and speaking 3 weekends a month. Every month, dragging books across this country, let me tell you. And it was wonderful, but it was a lot of work, and I needed to pay off some significant debt. In 2008, my husband was in real estate, a retired lieutenant colonel in the Air Force here in the United States, and I was in publishing. And between the two of us, we had some success in our careers, but we found ourselves needing to create a residual income to get out of some debt that had happened in 2008. And maybe that's where you find yourself today. Maybe right now today, you're wondering, how am I going to make ends meet? How am I going to create more income for myself? How am I going to help my family to get to the next level? How am I going to do it? And I believe we have an opportunity for you inside this business. And so I jumped in. And within about a year period of time, I doubled my full-time job that I was making in income. And within several months after that, I quit my full-time job and I started running this business full-time. And so I don't know where you find yourself today, but I know that this business offers hope, trust, and a plan. And whether you're looking for a health transformation, weight loss transformation, immunity transformation, I know that we have inside this business. So I just want to say thank you for joining us, and I'll throw it right back to you, Miss ERIKA.
Oh, there we go. So thank you for sharing that, Tam. And I loved when you said that this is a phone-based business. And I want to encourage you. We live in a time, you guys, and I don't even have to say this, but Tammy, the world has changed, right? And so the way we do business it's got to change with it. And one of the things that I find really fascinating about the new age business opportunity is the fact that you can live in one area but build globally almost, right? We're in 70 plus countries. I believe it might even be more than that. But you have the opportunity from your home to actually build a worldwide organization. Okay, sorry you guys about that. If you join this meeting, can I ask you please to stay muted? It's just respectful to the people speaking, and that takes away any background noise. So thank you for that. So Tam, talk to us about the international side of business that you have been exposed to since we started this journey, especially given the fact that you and I have worked together closely in other parts of the world. How has that opened up to you coming from this industry?
Well, one of the things I love about this industry, ERIKA, is that we are a global business. We are a global company. We are indeed in 75 plus countries all over the world. And so I find, I built my business right here in North America. I built it in my own backyard. I started in my community, in my neighborhood. And that's how I began my business. The last thing in the world I thought I'd be on is a Zoom with South Africa.
Right.
With a team of thousands and thousands of people. But that's what this company does. It makes strangers friends, and friends family. And that is one thing we have really experienced in this business. So where you start in your own backyard. That's what I tell people all the time. You start with the people you know, you share the opportunity, the transformation that they might be looking for. And you just share your story, you share the opportunity, just like you would a good movie or a good dinner or a great pair of shoes. Where do you get those great pair of shoes? That's what this business really is. It's just sharing an opportunity. So when I started, it was my backyard. Then it grew because I signed a doctor that was living in another state. And she grew her business to 4 or 5 different states. Then we signed someone else in the East Coast, and they grew their business to 4 or 5 states. And pretty soon my business was in 40 plus states in the United States. And I realized, wow, the opportunity is real. From your phone, you can build a home-based business, a phone-based business. And then when we merged with a company called New Age, I say it's a new day for a new you at New Age. And New Age gave us this incredible opportunity to build a global-based business. This is incredible. So I can build my business right here in North America, ERIKA. And when I met you 3 years ago, this little girl from South Africa saw a little blacked out on South Africa, and she said, I want to bring this opportunity to my people of Africa. I want them to have hope, trust, and a plan. I want them to be able to build a business, change the legacy of their families. And so we began. And some of you right here on the Zoom today were part of that launch. You were part of that vision of casting when there was just a few of us and we're like, can we do this? Is it possible? And it was possible because we had a company that was $600 million strong, debt-free, profitable, that had the opportunity of cash flow to help us get this country open. And so today, a year later, ERIKA, any day, new products are being launched that are being warehoused right now in South Africa. Right now, the opportunity for you to lock in your spot for free and to get yourself positioned to be on the ground level of a global company. Now, ERIKA, ground level of a global company
so big, guys.
Yes.
Tam, New Age has brought such an amazing dynamic to all of us. And one of the people that I want to introduce to everybody on this call that I want to share, them to share a little bit about the dynamics that they're experiencing in this business is a gentleman with the name of Craig Tomanini. Now, I had the honor of meeting Craig a few years ago here He's one of Tammy's business partners. And so I got to know this amazing gentleman, and he not only had an amazing health transformation, but he is experiencing a business transformation in many ways. So I wanted us to spotlight with me and Tammy, Nick, if you can, Mr. Craig Tomanini. Craig, welcome to today's call. It's great to have you on.
Hey, ERIKA, thanks so much for having me on. I'm always excited to do a call with Africa. The excitement level is just, I can't even contain it because
I know, it's great.
I mean, we're days away, just days away. It's incredible.
But Craig, talk to us about the new way of doing business, and you're leading this with a social media charge. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so I've been fortunate over the last few years to be able to leverage social media. I'm not a young person, so it's not typical for a person of age to really embrace social media, but I've been fortunate to kind of crack the code a little bit and build a brand online, and that brand has led to really a way of funneling business into the new age business and really having the opportunity to share with people. And so I've been able to do that successfully, and the way that it's converting with new markets like Tammy was talking about, being in 75 countries, the internet truly gives us a way to reach out to people, frankly, that I just never would have had exposure to. And so it's been really a really dramatic change for me in how I do the business, because I was doing it a lot like how Tammy mentioned, you know, starting in your backyard and really just building relationships. And that's still very much the way to do things, but the ability to leverage social media and build a global following and really be able to share information about what we're doing is a huge component of that. And I would say the other part is, as a company, New Age has really started to set the pace for how e-commerce is done overall. I think in the next couple of months, you're going to really see a change, a mindset shift in the e-commerce industry as a whole, because we're not only leveraging technology, that's something that people have been doing for quite a while now. Amazon does really well with that, but we're stepping out and we're actually taking steps beyond that, improving upon the model that Amazon has, and honestly, just developing things that nobody's ever really thought to do. And we have so many platforms and different technologies that are emerging that we're going to be able to take those things and apply them to the social media platform as well, and then continue to just scale at levels that honestly I can't even fathom.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. And the company is launching the tools for us to be able to do this, right, Craig? And I say, can you show me by a wave, how many of you have Facebook accounts? Right, all of us. So what if I told you that with this business opportunity, you can monetize and leverage your Facebook exposure, right? And it's basically, Craig, doing what you've been doing, but just monetizing it, right?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I always tell people when they get into the area of social media, when it comes to business, to be very careful to not forget that it's still about authenticity and it's still about business, building relationships to then lead to business and not the other way around. You know, but yeah, it's definitely changed the way that people think about how to do business. And I mean, like I said, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what everybody in Africa is going to be able to take advantage of. I mean, you know, I'm here in North America in the United States, and I can only imagine how excited the people in Africa are feeling right now, knowing that we're so close. And then knowing what the company is doing, like you said, is just, it's mind scrambling. And I come from technology. You know, I don't typically get excited about ones and zeros, but this stuff is it's going to translate to the ones and zeros, and binary are going to translate to a bunch of ones and zeros for Africa. And knowing what I know, which is very limited about Africa, I'm really excited for the opportunity that it presents for you guys.
So Craig, we're in the area of health and wellness, right? And you've had an amazing health transformation, and I want you to share a little bit about that. But talk to us about how has COVID impacted this it's a new age, and I love that word because it's a new age and it's a new way of doing business. And we've had some hard blows with COVID, all of us on the Zoom. But how can we pivot and see where the world is going and utilize this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so when I started in this industry, a little over 5 years ago, it was very different. We would do home parties and we would get together in person, and I love doing that. That's always fun. But yeah, when COVID hit, for me personally, as a business person, again, because I love technology, it wasn't a real hard adjustment for me personally. But what I observed was astounding. Was the whole world prior to COVID, very few people even knew what a Zoom call was. They didn't know how to do a Facebook Live or a FaceTime even. And what was amazing was I really started to see almost immediately, it became a necessity. Like even my daughter's gymnastics class had to go on and do Zooms. The instructor would come on and they would do their gymnastics in the living room. And what it did for this business, I think really specifically, is that it trained people by necessity on how to stay in touch with one another through things like Zoom. And so for my business personally, I saw about a 30% increase in business. And the reason why, well, first of all, everybody was home in lockdown and they had nothing to do really. And the other thing was that they now had an understanding. They were educated in a way that they could use this tool to connect with other people. And it made it really possible for me and so many other people saying, okay, well, we can't get together and have a party, but I can actually almost talk to more people this way effectively and be able to still share information by showing screens and videos and things like that. So, I mean, for me personally, it was a really healthy thing. I'm almost kind of sad in a way that things are kind of opening back up. I like the parties, but I've really grown to develop my business in a way that I really kind of depend on the ability to schedule Zooms with people. So, I mean, it's been an amazing pivot for us. I hope that it continues, and certainly with building internationally, of course, Zoom will be a needed thing all the time. But yeah, that's an amazing observation for me.
And talk to us about your health transformation, Craig.
Sure. So just being completely transparent, I didn't.
Oops. I think you're on mute.
Sorry. Call come in. Can you hear me?
Yep, perfect.
Okay. Sorry. You can never account for that kind of thing. Technology's not perfect.
Neither are people, Craig. Neither are people.
I'll have to call that person back and let them know they interrupted a very, very important Zoom call. And he's a brand partner already, so it'll be okay. So anyways, yeah, I being transparent, I didn't come to this industry with the intention of really embracing my entrepreneurial roots. I have been an entrepreneur my whole life, but for me, it started because I was over 400 pounds at the time. I was experiencing a lot of residual side effects from that weight, to include high blood pressure, 193 over 176 at the time I went to the doctor. My cholesterol was in the upper 200s, and I just didn't feel good. I was having migraine headaches. I was tired. And I knew that I needed to make a lifestyle change. And so I went to a party, an in-person party, not a Zoom, and talked to a really good friend of mine that my wife's known for 20 years as a family friend. And I listened kind of, I wouldn't say open-minded, but I wasn't closed-minded to it. I knew what they were pitching really. And, but I actually left that party thinking nobody really forced me to buy anything. They didn't like hard sell me. They were just really good people sharing information. And so that was kind of stored in the back of my head. And then I jumped into the products because I really knew that I needed to make a transformation with my health, and their products just seemed logical. It made sense. It was easy to work into my routine. And I did that. And within a month's period of time, I lost 28 pounds. Wow. And that would have been significant enough as a story just to stop there. But some people started to take notice in my church and in my work, and they wanted to know what I was doing. And so I started bringing them to these parties and letting the other people kind of educate them the way that I had gotten the information. And even though I wasn't going to do it as a business, I had a few people jump on, and the next thing I know, I was making a couple $100s a month residual income because these people were growing businesses and consuming the products. And I continued my weight loss journey. And at about the 6-month mark, I went away to a destination event that the company had put on. And I wanted to kind of check it out a little bit more from a culture standpoint. And I had lost almost 70 pounds at that point. So
oh my goodness, Craig.
yeah, and it was incredible. And so I'm sitting there at this event in Louisiana, and I decided that you know, when I left the event, I had submitted my story and I won $1,000 prize for my weight loss transformation. And I'm like, I don't even know anything about this company, and I'm making money left and right. And so I went home and I started thinking about it. I said to my wife, you know, maybe there's more to this. You know, maybe as an entrepreneur, I should open the other eye and take a chance. So I decided to do a 90-day run at the business. And right around that time, I had started to lose even more weight. And at 88 days in, I got a phone call from corporate that our team had shared with enough people that I was now making a couple $1,000s a month. And they were going to, at the time, they had a car program, and I could opt into getting a free vehicle, which I did because I needed a new car. So I had all these things going on, and I started to think about it. You know, this really has turned into a business for me, and it was helping me physically. I had lost and have maintained this weight loss, and I don't say it lightly, of 161 pounds. You know, the thing that I really like to tell people now, post COVID, is that, you know, I was sick with COVID for about 16 days, and I recovered a lot faster than most. And I believe it's because of the health condition I'm in now. But at the same time, what was really amazing is that I never missed a paycheck. Every day that I was in bed sleeping, that I couldn't get up, I was still getting paid. Every day that I was in bed, my business was still growing. And it was a really an amazing health transformation. But I also love to share now things that I don't really talk about a whole lot. But at the time when I got involved with this, we were about $250,000 in debt, my wife and I. And we were, you know, living the American dream. We were broke. We were getting wage garnishments. We were getting threats in the mailbox. You know, we had a car repossessed. There was a lot of things going on. And for us, it was really, I became the poster child for this company. You know, I had the health and the wealth transformation. We have now paid off all of our debt just 5 years into this. And I'm not saying that to suggest an income claim or whatever, but I'm telling you, having a little extra money every month, it does one thing. It gives you options. And so if you're hearing this and you're not already involved in the company, or maybe you are and you're just waiting for things to launch, you are in a great spot. I'm telling you, just don't ever give up. Excuse me, on what you're doing, because there is a hope. There is a plan, like Tammy said, and you can change dramatically the place that you're at in your life now. And I am walking proof of that.
Oh my gosh, Tam, we can pack up and go home. Well, you guys, I hope you can see that this is just real people sharing real stories, right? It's not a hype. It's not a marketing glitz. It's just average people making use of an opportunity that came their way. And Craig, we are so blessed with you on our team. I know you're part of Tam's team, and we just love working with you, and all the best for you as you work globally, and as you share resources with all the people on social media. And you can go and type in your page if people want to go and have a look at what you do, or a link or whatever. Go and check out this guy. He's the real deal. And we just absolutely are so grateful that you were on our Zoom today. Be blessed.
Thank you so much, ERIKA. I appreciate it. Yeah. Blessings to Africa.
Oh, awesome. And now, Tam, would you do us the honor and introduce, they call her Mama Eva, right? For a reason. Will you introduce our next guest to everybody?
I would love to. So first of all, thanks, Craig. And I want to just note there that I've never seen you share your story without you breaking down in that story, because
it's right there. If you look close.
Now, people weren't paying attention. This cough, I knew what that was disguising. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, there's tears there. Trust me, they're in the corner. I was casually wiping. So, but thanks for pointing it out. I love you.
Oh, I love you too. And you know, though, this is true. When your life has been transformed, when your health has been transformed, when you've gotten out of $250,000 in debt. Yeah, it's a big thing, and it changes people's lives. It's true. Thanks, Craig. Well, up next to share her 2-minute story is the beautiful EAVA BACA CURRENCE. I met EAVA 6.5 years ago. I'm thinking 6 years ago, something of that nature. And her and her husband, Keith, they have and still do have a nonprofit working with orphans and different needs of people in Africa, and has a real heart for Africa. She's been there many times. She lives here in Colorado Springs. Not only does she live here where I live, she lives in my neighborhood.
Right down the street. So when Tammy cooks, guess who gets the leftovers?
Emma.
Well, that's actually true. During COVID, when I would cook, I mean, we had so many, it's just my husband and I, we'd have so much leftover food. So I'd go, not to expose anyone, because back, then you couldn't even come within any distance of people. So I drop it off at the front door. Anyway, we became best friends after that. But one of the things, many things that I love about EAVA, but she is an incredible leader. She has a very large team in Nigeria. She continues to build her team in Nigeria as well as here in North America. And she is a lover of the people. She has a tremendous, tremendous health story. Her husband has an incredible health story with our health products, but they also hit a very high pin rank in our company, hit some large bonuses, and they were able to pay it forward and help a lot of people in the process. So EAVA, we'd love to hear, here you are 6 years later, you come from a traditional business background. You ran I don't want to say traditional nonprofit, but a traditional nonprofit where you raise
Which
money.
means no money.
No profit in the nonprofit.
So true.
So you, but you had a traditional business. You had several different businesses that you had run. But one day someone introduced you to this opportunity, and you saw maybe it's something you needed to take a look at. So take us from that point on, and how did it transform your story?
Well, way back then, I was what you would call a serial entrepreneur. I had always been self-employed. I did have a job once for about 2 years. And when you work in a cubicle, nobody cares what you think. It didn't work for me. So I'd always been very successful at it. And then life happened. We had actually started our nonprofit in 1999 after it was our first time to be in Africa. And that's when we realized that we were Africans at heart. And at that point, it became a mission and a passion to help other people change their lives. Because I looked at Africa, and I'm looking and saying, this is the birthplace of civilization. And it has so much more. It's a continent of abundance, and here people are struggling. So it became not a want or a need, but a passion. And so quit my full-time entrepreneurial job, started the NGO, not realizing at the time that meant nonprofit. So, here we are, we're driving 20-year-old cars. And we started a business to finance all of our work, and life happened. And my husband all of a sudden was fighting for his life. I had previously broken my back. I had spent 12 years in pain. I traveled and basically lived, from pain to pain. And the last thing I wanted to do was go back into business, number one. And number two, I was an entrepreneur. I was a business snob. I thought you had to have brick and mortar, or you had to have a market. You had to have, that traditional business, because that's the way it works. And all of our lives, we had done everything the way we were supposed to do. We had been, obedient and started businesses. In the United States, you take out a 6-figure loan. We had done all of that, built brick and mortar, and we had a health challenge. And I guarantee you, if anybody's on this call, anyone with a health challenge, this, has a financial challenge.
True.
So we lost our home. We lost everything, and we needed an answer. And so we started this business because we needed health. We needed a health transformation. And I didn't want anything to do with the business. No, wasn't going to do that. And all of a sudden we started on the products. Now you have to realize that even though we're getting the hero products in South Africa, we also are getting many of the other products that we have, plus the fact it's about the heart of the company, and it's about the purpose of the company, which is non-toxic products that work. Because if you buy something and it doesn't work, you're wasting your money. Yeah. So all of a sudden we get in here. My husband's health is after 35 radiation treatments, he is cleaning out the gutters, literally on the roof, cleaning out gutters. That's when I got my first customer, Tammy. My next door neighbor comes over and says, and 35 radiation treatments, he looks at him and he goes, okay, whatever he's doing, I want. And all of a sudden it was so simple. I wish somebody had told me, now you don't know how old I am, but I am older. It told me 20 or 30 years ago that all I had to do was become healthy, become a product of the products, and transform not only my life, but everyone else's life. And it was so simple. Just took the products, and all of a sudden, number one, the products worked. But number two, I may be slow. Well, actually, I'm really kind of stubborn sometimes. I may be stubborn, but I'm not stupid. And I'm going, if this works, then what am I doing over here? I need to take a look at this. And I took a second look at this. And I'm looking at the business plan, which I'd never list. If you're a business person here, many times, it's different. So you're not going to look at it because we've done it the same way over and over and over again. And we get stuck in that. But I stopped and I looked at the business plan. And I went, this is so simple. It's not easy. And the fact that it's a job, you have to work it, but it's just makes sense. It's kind of like being in an airplane. You have to take the mask and you breathe first, and then you help those around you. That's what this business is. You take care and do what you need to do so that you can help everyone else around you. And it was just so simple. And the next thing I knew, we went from, now we were driving a 20-year-old car. Literally, my daughter would get in and say, Mom, pray, so that, because the transmission had gone in, and she'd say, pray, Mom, that we can shift, and we would pray that we could do it. And 4.5 months later, our team had come to the point that I was able to not only buy a very nice brand new car. I didn't have a washing machine. So I drove to the laundromat, my BMW. I looked like really cool, but the point with that is it takes work.
Yeah.
You have to work it, and it's not going to come overnight. But 4.5 months from being totally broke to changing not only our lives, but we were changing the lives of 250 people. 10 months later, we are entering into a 6-figure income. And we have, now this is the deal. If you don't know this, write this down. Passive residual income. What does that mean? If you have ever read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad,
Yep.
that means that while you're sleeping, just as Craig said, your business is doing business for you. It means that when life happened to us 2.5 years later, and we were rear-ended by a truck in our car as we were parked, we were able to once again start over, get healthy, but not lose. The first time life happened to us, we lost our home, we lost everything we had. The second time, we were able to live our lives, get healthy, because we had passive residual income. And that's the key, is being able to have your money work for you and being able to change lives. My thing is, it's all about changing lives one story at a time.
Well, Eva, speaking about changing lives, the company is changing lives and helping people, and they're expanding. And one of the markets that they are expanding to is the continent of Africa. Where are you when you think about what is about to hit the continent, our beloved continent of Mama Africa? What comes to mind?
20 years of prayer and blessings, because I know that this 20 years been praying and looking for something that would bring change, that would bring an economic, that would change an entire economy. And when I look at what we're bringing to the continent, I'm looking at total transformation. I'm looking at people who have been living in the streets being able to change their economy, being able to not only provide the basics, but to do it but to be blessed in it. And when I look at exponentially what this is going to do to an entire continent, I can't sleep at night. I literally can't. Ask Nick. I mean, Nick, if Nick texts me any time of the day, I am up, because I know that this is an answer to the prayers of millions of people. And I know that let me put it to you this way. You only have one reputation. When you come, and this is what I'm going to say. I trust the process. I trust the people. I trust the products. And I am standing up there and saying, I support this, because I know that I know that I know that this is the new way. It's the new age. It's the new generation. It's not this generation, it's the next generation. I am just so excited. I literally cannot sleep at night, because I cannot wait to see the transformation on a daily basis in people's lives.
And that is so huge, especially for Africa, right? Especially. Wow, I want to thank you, Eva, for sharing that. Thank you for your heart and your passion and the nuggets of wisdom that you shared with everybody today. You are such a beautiful example, both you and Keith. We just love you, adore you, but we also respect you for your contribution to what is about to hit Africa. So thank you, Mama Eva, for everything.
You're welcome. Just put it this way. We're going to put our name on it. We have to believe in it.
It's so true, right? And so that leads us, Tam, into the next portion of the Zoom. And this may have sounded so incredible to you. And you will ask the question, well, what do you girls do? What are you talking about? It sounds wonderful, but what do you actually do? And I'm going to ask Tam to explain in a nutshell what the business model is.
Well, the business model is very, very simple. We have an opportunity with a house of brands. So New Age is a house of brands. Basically, we have multiple different houses, all in the health and wellness field. And you have the opportunity to enjoy all those different houses, to find what your transformation is, whether it's health, whether it's sleep, maybe better immunity, maybe some detox, maybe some weight loss, all these special, amazing, unique products that have been created and crafted by scientists that are coming to Africa for you, for the African people, the hero brand. In fact, I'll tell you this, Deanna Latson, who is our Chief Product Officer, who is a brilliant scientist, a brilliant formulator. She said, when North America hears about these hero brand, this brand, they're gonna all want it in North America. So I want you to know that you are getting the top of the top of the top of our entire company is coming to Africa, the first. And that is something that I love. And so you just basically jump in, get your transformation. What do you need a little bit more of? What do you need a little bit less of? And so you start a 90-day transformation. You get enough product to work that 90-day transformation, do your before and after pictures, and then just start sharing that with people. Share it on social media, share it with your neighbors, get them on a Zoom. It is that simple. And it's not a complex concept. And so you just bring in people that are either looking to become a customer with their own transformation, or someone that maybe they may want to be a brand partner. They may want to find the opportunity. How can they make an extra couple $100s a week? How can they make an extra couple $1,000s a week, or a 10,000 a week? It's possible in this business. We know people that do it, and it's been that transformational even in my life and what I have actually experienced and seen. And so what we do is we have our own transformation, and then we share it with others. We get a pack of products, start drinking them, start putting them on our skin, start having our weight loss, like Craig, starting to see the weight drop off, getting better health, better heart, blood pressure, all these different things. And I promise you, if you don't have a health need, you know someone that does. If you don't have a financial need, I promise you, you know someone that does. And so we have hope, trust, and a plan to get you there. So it's simple. You get a pack of products, start using them, get your own transformation, and then you pay it forward by bringing people into your organization where you make a little bit. That's your residual income, and it just keeps coming in. I'll tell you one story. When I started this business, ERIKA, 7 years ago, someone asked me how much I made the first month in my business. And again, please understand, I'd never sold a thing a day in my life. I had no understanding of network marketing, direct sales, any of that. I came from a publishing media world. And so I was green as green can get, but here I was inside this opportunity, this vehicle of hope that someone had given to me. And I had to make enough to pay for 4 tires. And I'm just being straight up honest with you here. I have made over 7 figures in this company, 7 figures. So I tell you this because this is not where I started. I started needing money for tires for my car. And I needed to buy 4 tires, and I knew how much money that was. And I said, I'm going to make a certain amount that month to pay for my tires. And I did. I hit that goal. And someone said to me later, Tammy, how much did you make that first month in your business? And I gave that amount. And then I paused and I said, that's actually not true. I brought people in my first month of my business that are still loving our products. They're still drinking them. And I'm still making a little bit commission on all those people. Now multiply that over a 7-year period. I'm building a business. This is not a get rich quick thing. This is a legitimate business you're building. And so over 7 years, those people are still loving what our products bring. They're still experiencing different levels of transformation. And I'm still making a residual income. And so that's what this business really is, ERIKA, is jumping into this beautiful house of brands, getting your transformation, and then paying it forward to the next person still waiting.
And Tam, let me speak for Africa. If you find yourself on African soil at this moment in time, you have to understand we are still in pre-launch mode, which means that there's an awesome opportunity for you to get involved in what we call lock your spot in the organization and start building your business, your organization, by presenting the opportunity to various individuals. And you can actually, Tammy, do that at the moment without paying any money, right? And that opportunity will come and it will go, people. So I want you not to miss out on that. So I encourage you, speak to the person that invited you to the Zoom and find out what that process looks like. And then, Tam, if you're on African soil, there is the Hype campaign going at the moment. The Hype campaign is a social media campaign. You can use WhatsApp, you can use text messages, email, social media platforms, but you basically get a link that you can send to all your friends and family and anybody that you can think of. And that will qualify you for some amazing lucky draw prizes. So
real prizes, real money.
Right?
And I mean, the prizes they're giving away are real, they're big. Yeah. I mean, and cash. I'm like, holy buckets! It's right. It's real. Yeah.
And I don't want you to miss out on that. That campaign will come and go as well. So it really is a divine opportunity, you guys. It really is the time to not only have a look at this, but lock your spot and share your hype link and stand a chance to win some amazing prizes as you spread the word about what is coming. And I also want to encourage you, please, will you go ahead and join the social media platforms out there that will keep you updated on what New Age will be announcing for Africa. And if one of the teammates could just go ahead in the chat box and share the Facebook and Instagram links for New Age, not Southern African movement, but the official New Age pages, that would be awesome. And I just want to encourage you to stay connected and stay plugged in. We have a few moments left, Tam. Do you want to close us out with some inspirational thought? And I'm going to mute myself. Thank you, everybody, for being on.
Well, I'm not sure it's inspirational thought, but I will tell you this, that I want to encourage you to believe. I want you to believe that there's a better way. I don't know where you find yourself, but I know you're on this Zoom. And I was in a situation where I needed a better way. I was a hard worker. I'd worked hard all my life, mother of 4, grandmother of 7. I had worked hard, but I had hit some hard things in life, and it changed my financial picture drastically. We just left 2020. That was a hard year for a lot of us. And so I want to encourage you, dig your well before you're thirsty. Dig your well before you're thirsty. And this is an opportunity to dig a well that will provide richness for the rest of your life and your family's life. This is a generational business. This business can actually be willed to your children. That's how powerful this is. So dig your well before you're thirsty, link arms with people around you, build your belief, find out everything about our business, find out about our company, do your due diligence, find out about the products that have been in South Africa. The new ones are yet to be completely released, but those are coming very soon. So build your belief and believe all the way to the top of your dreams, the top of the hopes that you have of what you want for your family. We want that for our families too. And we're going to link arms together and we're going to do it right to the top. And Africa, mark my words, is going to lead the way. They are going to smoke Europe. They are going to smoke Asia. They are going to smoke North America. Africa is going to put a stake in the ground, and everyone will be talking about Africa. Mark my words. Thank you, everyone. We're so glad you joined us. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Again, get back with the person that invited you to get all the information you may need. We'll see you next time, everybody. Good night.